Okay, so here's our second part of the video about Guild Battlegrounds, or GBG. And firstly, I'm going to talk about how to fight. So if you've watched the first part, you'll realise that when you look at this map, this is the province we'll be attacking first, A3Z. Before I do it, I'll just check. Wrong one. It says A3Z to 120. So it's okay to move that up to 120. So if I go and fight, I'm going to remove my injured ones, and I tend to fight with 2 heavies and 6 rogues. And that means I can auto battle all the way up. Because I've got such a high traz, it means that I'm able to not worry about, attached units and things like that. I can just attack, and I've got enough just to go. So I can just auto battle this, and you can see that just moves up. Now, as I said, in Platinum we get 7 forge points for our fights. You don't get one every time you fight, you'll get a mixture of different rewards. Sometimes you get troops, supplies, coins, and forge points, and occasionally you get diamonds as well. So this is also a really good way of getting diamonds as you fight. If you look at the top where it says attrition, level of attrition, it says here, attrition increases each time you successfully finish a battle or negotiation within the guild battlegrounds. And the higher the attrition, the more difficult it will become. Attrition resets at midnight, so this is quite worth knowing. You can see that my attack penalty is 99%, and what that means is that the troops that I'm fighting are 99% stronger than they would be if it was at 0 attrition. And if I'm negotiating, it means everything should be, it says ×4, so you can see that my resources, it wants 4 of every resource to negotiate. When I negotiate, it actually, rather than putting one level onto that bar at the bottom, it actually doubles it, so you get 2, because negotiation is actually much more costly. And the way I do it is I tend to use 1 of every resource, engage it, and what you're looking for in the first one is lots of incorrect, because that'll just mean that you don't have to, it eliminates that resource. And then I just keep doing that. I just keep going across using as many different resources as I can as I'm going. You can see I've got 2 correct, and then you can see there that there's an easy solution. This third one has to be dynamite or explosives. The first one has to be this, which means the last one is that, and then I've completed it. And as you can see, that's put 2 on. It was at 16, now it's at 18. I can take that all the way up to 120. Now, attrition is the real thing. As I fight, you'll notice it does go up, but it doesn't go up every time. So that's just gone up from 20 to 21. And if I fight again, it's stayed at 21 and given me another 7 forge points. The reason it stayed at 21 is because the province next to it that belongs to us, if I look on buildings, has got a siege camp. Now, siege camps are the most important buildings of Guild Battlegrounds, because it gives you a 24% chance not to increase your attrition level. So obviously on that last fight I did, I got lucky. It didn't increase my attrition at all. Sometimes you can have a province that's got 4 siege camps surrounding it, which means that basically it doesn't increase at all. And that's how some players are able to get up to 2,000, 3,000 fights, depending on how much free time they have in real life. They can get thousands of fights a day without increasing their attrition at all. So siege camps are the most important building by far for attacking. And when you're deciding on which to attack, and this is for the Guild Battleground officers, you look to see which provinces have got the highest amount of siege camps. Now, looking at this, I can see that there's a gap there where I could build another one. So I will. It's always good to build as many as you can, because it really helps our guild out. Now, what I've just noticed is that this province here, B2S, has got a siege camp bordering it, and now another siege camp and another one building. So actually, that is much more beneficial for our guild to use, because it will reduce the attrition and mean that our guild members can have more fights. So what I'm going to do as a guild battlefield officer, and I would encourage other GBOs to do this, is I'm actually going to stop the attack on A3Z and encourage people to go to B2S. So I'll go into the actions and I'll say B2S to 120. And the reason I put it to 120 is because we have got what's called a non-aggression pact with Purple at the moment. We're working with them. So we don't want to take any of their provinces away from them without checking with them first. So we're going to take B2S to 120. And what I'll do is I'll just put a token fight on there to so just to help people to know which one to go for. And that did actually increase my attrition. Now, it's always good if you're working with another guild, like we're working with Dark Moon, to say we are pinning B2S to 120 as it is lower attrition. And that should help them out fine. And they'll know what we're doing, so they won't worry. Now, the inter-guild relations are very important. They're actually the key to being able to get thousands of fights a season and to be able to get us to progress. Unfortunately, in this round, we had a bit of a miscommunication with a couple of guilds, and we found that we were getting kind of stomped. So we're not doing very well this round. But now we're talking to Purple, you can see that we've got a little bit more breathing room. We're building siege camps. We're going to be able to get some fights for our guild members, and then, of course, rewards after that. Just a quick note on buildings. Now, only guild battlefield officers can build these, but we don't actually build any of the other ones if we can help it. It turns out that they are actually a bit of a waste of resources for the. A lot of them are very defensive. Now, siege camps offer the highest attrition reduction, but sometimes, depending on our treasury, if we haven't got the goods needed that you can see on the right-hand side there, watchtowers are our next best thing. Sometimes it's really tempting to build things like fortresses, which means it's harder for the opposing guilds to take the province from us. But actually, you know, in the grand scheme of things, it rarely pays off. You're better off using resources for siege camps. If anyone notices that we can't build siege camps because we're running short of a product, you know, we'd make sure you mention it in the guild chat so that we can have a look round and make sure we're topping it up. I hope that was a little bit more informative for you. And as always, if you do have any questions, please make sure you do ask, okay? Well, happy forging, guys. See you soon.